it was embarrassing. It was humiliating. You know what I'm saying? Because me, also at one point, I just remember myself feeling like as if I failed because that's my child, and I was caught off guard. I just wasn't. I didn't have my benefits lined up on my end.
Been through it all, but we up. We done been through it all, but we here, man.
Well, let's kind of like touch on the aspect of
Him being innocent.
let's touch on the aspect of you literally being out of your mind, but then receiving word that you didn't have insurance to actually bury him. So how did you find out that you didn't actually have insurance to actually bury him?
Well, so me, myself personally, when I lost my job in 2017, I lost my job.
Okay.
With the company I was working with. And it was no problem because I cashed my 401k. I had been with them for, so much time. I had money. And I'm saying this to say that I didn't have my benefits lined up, but I always knew his dad had life insurance on him. Mm-hmm. His dad always had insurance. So when I didn't ever have to really just, go over there and talk to him because for years, he had insurance on him. I had insurance. I always just kind of had it through my employer. But then outside of that, I have another insurance policy, but I didn't have my kids on that. It's really just like for myself. Or if anything happened to me, they're good. So, okay. When he passed away, then I don't know, maybe a couple of days later is when because the insurance thing wasn't even the last thing on my mind because I'm like, we got insurance. I ain't know until maybe the next day or so that he didn't have insurance because I knew his dad had his insurance policy, and he told me it eventually maybe had just a few months or so had lapsed, and we didn't have it covered.
Was that due to his age that it lapsed, or
no,
is this?
It's something that I don't know if he didn't make the payment. I don't know what happened, but he didn't have it.
Okay. So now, because we come from a small town, there's a bunch of chit, you know what I mean, going on. So now you don't actually have the money to bury him. So are you in panic mode? What are you thinking? Are you saying like, man, I'm gonna have to go and ask family members, which is okay because this is what family for, you know what I mean, to come, to make sure that your son has a home going that you want to have. So what was the next move?
It was just added stress to me because, okay, we didn't have the insurance, but Cornelius come from a pretty good family, a decent family, where we was able to go ahead and, have him. But it was embarrassing. It was humiliating, you know what I'm saying? Because me, also at one point, I just remember myself feeling like as if I failed because that's my child and I was caught off guard. I didn't have my benefits lined up on my end. And he still probably should have been covered because, it's like I wasn't communicating with his dad to know, but we would communicate over the years. He always had it. So I didn't know nothing changed. But I went through that because I feel like that was my responsibility. Like, and I'm not the one who's just, I went through some changes with my kids where I don't like to ask for nothing.
Yeah.
If it's not me or their dad, then that's it. That's our responsibility. So me not having that coverage, of course, me being the type of person, I've always worked. I've always, had my benefits. It just did something to me. Like, how could you have, did this?
Yeah.
I felt let down because my child know that his mama got him. So this would have been something too. Like, I felt like I did. But, I went through those changes and, I don't know, people was really speaking foul on my name because of the life insurance.
Correct. So people found out about the life insurance because you had somebody that did what?
Okay, so Cornelius' godmom, which I didn't know at the time, and she didn't ask me if I was out of it. But she wanted to do it just from the kindness of her heart. She wanted to do it. And because we was trying to come up with the money, but we was able to still do that. And she did a GoFundMe. And when she did it, I love her and she loved my son. So I know she didn't do it
out of malice.
No, nothing like that. She just we was trying to come together and do what we need to do. But people made it a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? People kind of like just dragged me through the mud, like because of something like that. However, people, even me, it was times that because the people kept on talking about the life insurance or the GoFundMe, and so that's all they were talking about. What about the fact that my son ain't here? Y'all keep on coming at me about, and I was just start reaching out to people. If I owed anybody anything, it made me start feeling like, let me make sure, I pay them back. Not even if it's, monetary. It was different ways that I was being able to show up. I would support. If somebody's doing something, there's many of families that since my son passed away, to be honest, they didn't have insurance. But I do donate. I help.
Yeah.
I go to the family. They having the fish fries. I'm gonna serve. I'm gonna do something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do something. But I donate.
What do you think of? What do you think about? Okay, how can I say this? What do you think it was about your situation that made people come in and say the stuff that they were saying as opposed to other people? Because there's millions of people that when somebody passed away, you know what I mean, they do a GoFundMe. Before, like you said, just, before technology, it used to be the fish fry, the car wash.
It was really just, my community, for one, that was so with this whole, just thing with the GoFundMe, who wanted to just make it so just like as if it was. I think it's because of the type of person I was. They knew like, okay, everybody had high expectations of me, and I felt that maybe I let them down. That's how I felt. I was trying to make it make sense. Like, how could a person be so upset with somebody else about what they have to go through?
Correct.
So I'm the type of person where I try to turn negative into positive.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe I let them down, but because I've been to so many different funerals and so many other people have passed and didn't have insurance, and you'll never hear nobody say nothing about them. You'll never hear them say nothing about no GoFundMe. But I guess because of who I am, maybe because it was, and I don't know. I'm no different from nobody else who lose a family member and got to bury him. And people have, I think the GoFundMe was about 4,000. I don't even think it was 4,000. It was like 3,000 and some, 3,700. But people have had hundreds and thousands of dollars, 50,000, hundreds of thousands that I know from GoFundMe who have helped them. And that was the thing I didn't understand. Like, what did I do? Why? Yeah. Can you tell me why?
I don't know, sis.
I think it's just because of who I am and who I'm connected to. Not only that, because who my kid's father is or who his dad was, who his dad is. People had so much high expectations on us, and we was caught off guard.
So they almost like they felt like you guys didn't need our help because, like I said, we didn't have this conversation before, you know what I mean? Because when Smoov transitioned, it was like, consider the fact that, you're a rapper, your father is a pastor, he lived like this, he drive like this. Man, if a GoFundMe would have went up for Smoov,
man, they would have been talking and dragging y'all.
Man,
that's what I'm talking about. Seriously, that's what it is. It's who you are. It's because of who it is. But people help a complete stranger, somebody they don't even know, and feel good about it before helping somebody who they know
and say that they love.
Yes.
Been through it all, but we up. We done been through it all, but we here, man. Been through it all, but we up. We done been through it all, but we here, man.